In this video, I want to cover how to install and configure the Ergomotion Wi-Fi dongle. Having a voice-capable bed for some people gives them tremendous control over their own comfort. It gives them more independence and less reliance on a caregiver who they may be reluctant to call as often as they need to move to bed. In the U.S. alone, there's over 100,000 people in this situation. So this video is going to cover setting up one of the commercially available solutions for voice controlled beds, and it's by Ergomotion. There's a number of bed manufacturers that use the Ergomotion base. Companies like Sealy and Serta and Beautyrest are just a few. I don't know what the complete list looks like today, but if you have one of those beds and it says powered by Ergomotion, there's a good chance that you'll be able to add on a little device called the Wi-Fi dongle to provide that voice capability to the bed. So what we're going to start out with is installing the Ergo Power Command app on a phone here, and then in that app we're going to need to create an Ergomotion account, and that account will be used when we go and actually activate or enable the Amazon skill or the actions on Google, so that the voice commands can take place. In order to configure the dongle, we'll need to use a physical remote so that we can hit a few buttons on the remote to wake up the dongle so that it broadcasts an SSID that we can connect to, and the purpose of that is to be able to get it on our network. Then we'll go into the app and set up the bed and connect the new base, and then finally we'll enable the Amazon skill so that voice commands can be issued. So let's begin by installing the Ergo Power Command app. So I'm on an Android phone. I'm going to go to the Play Store and install the Ergo Power Command. And once that installs, we'll go ahead and open it. I'll give it the permissions required. And now, if you are coming into this for the first time, you probably don't have an account set up with Ergomotion. So you need to be able to provide a valid email address, because it's going to send you some validation code you'll see in a minute. So assuming you don't have an account, go to the very bottom and click Create One and provide a valid email address. And then create a password. I'll just do and remember this password, because you're going to be using this when you enable the Amazon skill or the actions on Google. Then once you create your password for this Ergomotion account, you're going to go ahead and click Request, and that will result in a email being sent to your account, whatever account you provided up at the top. So let's see if I can find it there. Alright, so my verification code is 592347. 592347. Hopefully I got that right. So I successfully registered. So now I can log in with that account I just created. And there I am. Okay, so now I am within the app, and I can go ahead and connect the base. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and connect the base. So we went into the, if you didn't see that, the 3 lines in the upper left. And then we're going to go into bed setup. And at the bottom, we'll click connect new bed. Now we have to go to our physical remote and hold down foot up and foot down at the same time. And what this is going to do is essentially trigger the Wi-Fi dongle to go into broadcasting its SSID so we can connect to it and get it on our network. So I'm going to go ahead and hold down foot up and foot down. And now you hear the Wi-Fi dongle begin to beep. And so now we'll continue on in the app. And I'm going to hit the button for set up Wi-Fi. And the KS SSID there, that long number following the KS, I'm going to click on the KS device, and now I can go back to my app and I can click next. So now I'm connected to the Wi-Fi dongle. Now that I'm connected to it, I want to attach it to a local Wi-Fi network that I have in the house. And so I'm going to hit pause while I enter my password, and then I'll click next, and then it'll take us into the next series of questions. So I entered my password and I clicked next, and what you wouldn't have heard because I had it on pause was the fact that the beeping changed. It did a double beep and now it's no longer beeping. But it is looking for the bed right now. So I'm going to connect, and then I'm going to validate by clicking OK. And so now we are in a situation where the Wi-Fi dongle is configured for our network. The next thing we need to do is get the Amazon skills set up so that we can give the voice commands. So the next step is to enable the Amazon skill. So we're going to go into the Alexa app, and in the lower right we're going to click on More. We're going to go to Skills and Games, and I'm going to search by hitting that magnifying glass object there and search for Ergomotion Smart Bed, and it's that top one that I want. Now if you're on a PC, you may see Enable instead of Launch, so depending on what device you're using, either click Launch or Enable. Either way, we have to provide our credentials that we created way back so these are the credentials we created in the Ergomotion Power Command app way in the beginning of all of this. So now we have to enter that email and then the password. And now for the app, it wants us to select the Ergo Power Command. And this will take just a little bit to link up. There we go. And so now you can see that Ergomotion Smart Bed has been successfully linked. And that's because we remembered our password from setting up the Ergomotion Command app way in the beginning. And so at this point, we can close this window and click Done. All right. So now I can issue a command to move to bed. Alexa, ask my bed to raise my feet.
Okay, I'm raising your feet.
And I don't know if you could hear that, but that was the linear actuator moving the bed. And that completes this little tutorial for setting up and configuring the Ergomotion Wi-Fi dongle. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create commands that are short and sweet, commands that will be easier to remember, and those commands will actually be substitute commands for commands that might be much longer. I'll give you an example. If you have an Ergomotion or a Reverie bed, the commands would be longer. An example might be on an Ergomotion bed. Alexa, ask my bed to raise the head. Well, all you really want to do is say raise head or raise my head as a shorter command, or Alexa zero gravity or Alexa flat, instead of having to say that long phrase. So in order to achieve that, we go into the Amazon Alexa app and create what's called routines. So I'll start by opening the Amazon app. And in the lower right, we're going to click on More. And then we'll click on Routines. And here's where we go through the process of creating a routine. So a routine is made up of the short command you want to give, and then the action that runs in the background is actually the long command that you would normally have to speak, and then you can select a device that will accept that command. So we'll start by clicking the plus sign, and then go to the middle where it says when this happens, just hit plus, and then hit voice. Now this is our shortcut command, so let's just say flat. So our new command is going to be Alexa flat, and we'll hit next. Now we're going to do the second half of that routine, which is the actual command, and that's what's called the action. So now I'm going to hit the plus sign for add action. And this will be a custom command, so we have to go way to the bottom and click custom. Now we have to type what the actual command would be. So ask my bed to go to So this is a command you would normally have to speak. So I'll hit next. And now the last thing we have to do is just choose a device. And in my case, it'll be the bedside Echo Dot. I named that Echo Dot bedside, so for this example, I thought that would make sense. And so here's the whole routine. So at the top it says, when you say Alexa flat, the action will be Alexa, ask my bed to go to flat. And it'll accept that command from the Echo Dot next to your bed. Now if you go up in the upper right and hit save, you'll see that it'll take a little bit for that routine to be ready to use. And I've actually seen that take several minutes. There's some processing on the back end up in Amazon world that I've seen where that actually has taken a number of minutes. So don't be discouraged by that if it doesn't run right away. Now you can test the routine by clicking the blue dot with the little triangle off to the right, but I won't do that now. But that is a way you can manually, without having to speak the command, you can manually execute the routine. So let's create another routine. So now when this happens, we'll click the plus sign. Then we'll click voice. Now this time let's just say raise my head. So instead of the longer command, which would be ask my bed to raise the head, I'm simply going to say now, Alexa, raise my head. So click next. Now we have to create the action, which is the actual command. We'll hit the plus sign. We'll scroll down to the bottom, hit custom. Now we're going to say ask my bed to raise the head. Alright, so the real command that normally has to be spoken is ask my bed to raise the head. We'll click next. Again, I'll choose device for the echo dot next to the bed. And now this routine is completed. So the simpler command will be Alexa, raise my head. And what that will do on your behalf is the action of Alexa, ask my bed to raise the head. Now you can still issue the long command if you want. This doesn't eliminate the long command. It just adds a shortcut command in addition. So either command would work, the short one or the long one. But the purpose is to just give you simplification of shorter commands. So we'll click save. Alright, so now we've got two routines created. Let's just do one more and then we'll end it. So we're going to create another routine by clicking the plus sign in the upper right. When this happens, click the plus sign, voice, zero gravity. Now the action. Scroll down to the bottom for custom. Ask my bed to go to zero gravity. And then we just have to choose the device. So again, we're replacing what would normally be a long command with something much shorter. So in the future, we could give that long command if we wanted, but all we would really have to say is Alexa, zero gravity. And then click save. So now we have three commands defined. Actually, in Alexa, they're called routines, but we have three shorter commands that we can issue, which are much easier to remember and quicker to say. So that is it for this.